Hello, everyone. This is Eva with Stitching in the Interlake. How you all doing today? And there you can see, there's Sydney, the little brat again, and my Lilybell. And Jonah's up in the tree. Yes, that little brat. Anyways, I'm working on this today. And this is Snow Goddess. And you can get this at vipcrossstitch.com. And there is my discount code. I think it's for 7% off, but they've got a sale going on. So just follow those sale things. Yes, my voice is a little bit more crackly and not being there. Oh, okay, just a minute here. So this is how far I got done. This is her dress here, if you can see. I hope that comes out there. This part here is right here. Okay. So I'm working on here and working all the way up here to her. And then I have all this here to finish. So I know I will get that blue finished, which is 762. So yeah, so I'm working on this. This was very inexpensive. This was like around $9 or so. And it says it's a 40 by 50, but it's actually a 30 by 40. Just a minute here. I just got to get a thread here. Come on. There you go, baby. So, today is a really nice day out. It's blue sky, sunshine, but it's cold compared to what we have been having. Yeah, so if you're just new here, thank you so very much. And just bear with me with my voice. I've been dealing with this laryngitis now for at least a couple of weeks, and I've still got a long way to go. And it's worse today than it has been in a few days. And I didn't have as good of a sleep last night. So I'm not sure if that's causing, if that is as a result of my bronchitis and laryngitis. I don't know. But at least I can still talk. And some people I know would say, oh no, she still talks. Yeah. So, if you're wondering where I am, I'm located in the Interlake region of Manitoba, Canada. And if you're wondering where that is and you're in the States and you don't know your geography, if you know where North Dakota is, okay? If you know where Grand Forks, North Dakota is, you come north about maybe 6 hours and you hit me. Okay? So the weather in Grand Forks usually is what we have here. Usually. I can't speak for it all the time. What do you want, you little brat? He's just been a troublemaker today. Just something fierce. He knocked over one of my Sarah's angels and broke it. Get down. Get down. Get down, you little brat. And he's just not been a good kitty. He's back to his old ways. So, He was a holy terror again last night. Oh, yesterday I happened to be looking through on Netflix, and I came across The Conjuring 3. What is it? It's not The Devil Made Me Do It, but it's something like that. Something like that. It's based on the true story of Arnie Johnson, I believe is his name, back in 1981, who his court case was based, and his defense was that he was possessed. And it was a case that Ed and Lorraine Warren, who were parapsychologists, they did that. And it's part of the Conjuring franchise. So it's really, in a lot of ways, it's, like you want to say no, 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 no. But we know in life that, there has to be a balance in life, right? So if there's good, there's evil, right? It's just, you can't have good, 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 good all the time. You can't have sunshine all the time without some rain. You can't have day without night, right? So there's always a balance on things. And so if you believe in God or a creator or intelligent design, right? Then, oh gosh, I keep getting hung up. Oh my gosh, I keep getting hung up. Is it today? That it just goes or says to reason that if there's one, there has to be the opposite. I think it was Einstein who said that, for every action, there is an opposite reaction, right? So, it's like a boomerang, right? You send a boomerang out and it comes back, but it may not be exactly the same thing, right? So, anyways, if you're one for the Conjuring franchise, and that includes Conjuring 1 and 2, Annabelle 1 and number 2, I believe, is coming out soon. There's the spin-off, The Nun, and The Nun 2 will be coming out sometime soon. So, and they actually have audio of the actual exorcism, of the boy, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. He was an 8-year-old boy who was possessed. And that's how Arnie, he took the devil on and was possessed. So, I mean, if you believe in angels, if you believe in God, if you believe in positive, there has to be a negative, right? Like, there just has to be. You cannot have one without the other. So I would go and check that out. That's on Netflix. So Insidious is also part of kind of sort of the same thing. And there was Insidious 1, 2, and 3, I believe. And what's his name? Patrick Wilson, who played Ed Warren. He's also in Insidious. So it's very good. Very good. Very well done. It's not gratuitous violence like, say, The Evil Dead or, oh gosh, Halloween or those type of movies. So go and check that out because it is pretty good. There is a movie I'm looking forward to watching at some point. I don't know when it's going to be out or anything. And that is the movie Old, O-L-D, by M. Night Shyamalan, I think is how he says it. And I've watched a lot of his movies. Like he did, in the beginning, he did, oh my gosh, what's it called? It was with Bruce Willis. Where the kid says, I see dead people. I was going to say Second Sight, but that's not it. But you know what it is, and I know what it is. And hopefully I can remember it by the end of this video. But anyways, and he also did the one with Mel Gibson, Signs. He also did that one, and he did The Village, which wasn't as great. He could have done a lot more in that one. And he did a couple of others there. Glass, I think, and something like that. So I do like watching his movies. But, yeah. Otherwise, there's not been much of anything. I'm not feeling all that great today, so I didn't get dressed. So I'm going to finish my audiobook today, and I'm going to start Outland again. And listen to that one all over again. Because Earthside will be out on, today's the 24th. It's Thursday. I think it's Thursday. So, very, very, very good. Oh, I enjoyed it. I like that science, that type of science fiction. I also like time travel. So, though this isn't really time travel, this is alternate universe, I guess. So but yeah. But I was also watching videos this morning with on crafting, on making gnomes and tier trade things. So right now the biggest is going on is Valentine's Day. So I do have some Valentine's things that I had purchased, but I wouldn't recommend buying. I'd recommend making your own, because you can make it for a fraction of the cost. So but yeah. So yeah, so I was watching that, and then I was chatting with Juliet, and I've been feeling depressed and not really full of joy and hope, and that it's like I'm existing and not really living. And I don't like it. I do not like this feeling. Now, part of me thinks that it's sad. Seasonal affective disorder. Is it part of my borderline disorder? Is it partly due to the medication? I would like to see about getting back on the fluoxetine, because I seem to feel a lot happier on the fluoxetine than I do on this mirtazapine. I'm just not as happy on it. And those who deal with depression, how are you coping with it? I was doing so well. And then they changed up my meds. And I'm just not, I'm overeating. I can't get out and exercise because it's too cold. For me, anyways, it's cold. And too much of a chance of me falling down. Another few months and I should be able to get out there. And yeah, so it's awful. It's awful being depressed. And I dissociate, which is what I'm doing now. So for those of you that don't understand or don't deal with dissociation, dissociation is where you have like your body here. This is my body, right? But the person that resides in my body, instead of being like this, is like this, right? It is a protective mechanism that those of us with borderline, and probably people who deal with other mental illnesses, or who are trauma survivors like I am, it's a way of dealing with feelings, right? So it's a buffer to help protect that that core person that you are. Like I was telling Juliet this morning that the lady who was doing crafting, she just said something, and I can't remember what exactly she said, but she said something, and it was an absolute trigger for me. Absolute trigger. So I couldn't cope with the feelings. It was too overwhelming. It was too much. It's like a tidal wave, right? Comes over you, and it's like you feel like you're drowning, and so you can't breathe, and you're trying to breathe, and you can't, and you hold your breath, and I have flashbacks and memories and overwhelming feelings. It's really is. It's terrible. It's just a terrible, terrible thing. And I was doing so well. And now I'm just, it's just not, I don't like it. And those that don't deal with it, with depression, anxiety, and everything else, you really have no idea, because it's like a lot of people, they'll say, oh, well, just go for a walk, or just get up and do something, or, look at all that you have. Why are you worrying about, everything else? It's not that. You cannot snap your fingers like that and have it disappear, and have it that I go from existing like this to all of a sudden in a split second be like this. No. It is a protective mechanism to protect that which is inside. And it's like I'm fearful, I'm anxious, I'm all of that. I feel overwhelmed. And I know in time I'll ride through it. But for right now, it's there. And I just got to let it run its course, right? You cannot just snap out of it. You can't. Thankfully, on Friday morning, I will be speaking to my new counselor. So I'm hoping with speaking with her that we can come up with a plan, a life plan, an outlook plan, whatever it is, to help me. But I'm also experiencing fear and anxiety over over opening up old wounds, right? Ripping off that scar tissue yet again. And I went through DBT, which is dialectical behavior therapy, and I went through that twice. And it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. And I would highly recommend that for anybody, is to try and find. It is a commitment. Like, it's a minimum of 6-month commitment. And there is homework involved in that. But it really helps. It really, really helps. But lately I've fallen kind of by the wayside. I can't, or I'm unwilling, or I'm unable to pick myself up enough to do that. So it's, yeah. I've lived with depression my entire life. It's, my mother had it, her twin sister had it. Each one used crutches, if you will. Okay. Or used ways and means to deal with it, in quotation marks. And my mother's was as a prescription drug addict. For my aunt, it was alcohol. And for me, it's food. It's food. And even though I rationally understand and know it, it's like somebody else is driving the bus. Right? And really, that's what it is, because since I'm dissociating and I'm like this, there is that superficial part of me, that unfeeling, that unemotional, unapologetic part of me that handles things like breathing and seeing and hearing and that kind of thing, right? The unemotional part of me. That's who's operating the bus, or my body. Now, am I suicidal at this moment? No. I'm not thinking about actively suiciding. Not that. So it's like each person has their coping mechanism, their box of tricks, or their bag of toys, if you will. You know, the say the interface or the apps that they use to not deal with what's happening. And it's horrible, horrible, horrible. Though, you know, each disease or illness or malady or whatever, right? So say if a person has Alzheimer's, that's a horrible thing to deal with. Parkinson's, horrible thing to deal with. MS, horrible. Cancer, all of that. I got you on that. And for me, depression, PTSD, complex PTSD. It's just, oh gosh, it's horrible. I cannot remember a time when I was not mentally ill. Okay, when I was quote unquote normal, whatever normal is, right? I don't know what normal is. Or all these people like the Kardashians and King Charles and what's his name, Elon Musk and all them. Maybe they have a mental illness of some sort. I don't think that anybody on this planet is 100% normal. You know, there's always something, some idiosyncrasy that to someone else, someone would look at it and say, wow, that dude's got issues. Right? So, who knows? Who knows? It's, that's Lily Bell that's snoring. And so yeah, it's just, who knows? I just wish they would have just left my medication alone. So if I get to speak with that psychiatrist again, which I should be, that I'm going to tell him I want to go back on the fluoxetine. Because I seem to have been more stable, more happy being on that. I mean, what is it in life if you know, like if you're just merely existing, not living, you're existing, you know? Like, to me, that's like someone who stays in bed all day, who's quite capable of doing things, and stays in bed all day and refuses to get up and to do anything, makes excuses, you know. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. You know. Well, a lot of times I don't want to do it. There's a difference between can't and won't. Right? Can't is if you have someone who lost their legs and you tell them, or say they lost their legs below the knee, okay? And you say, okay, I want you to get up and walk, you know, or a quadriplegic or something, right? But won't is like, I'm not going to do it, and you can't make me do it. You know, and you'll come up with every excuse in the book why you cannot or you refuse to do it. Right? Now, that I have issues with. But that in and itself is a mental illness. Right? Especially if you've got someone who enables. Oh, wow. If you've got someone there who enables you, you'll take advantage of that person. And if they won't do what you want, then you whine and cry and lay a guilt trip on them and just carry on so that they will do it. Right? And for me, it is here. Like, if it is that, just saying I run out of food or something, well, I have to get up and go and get it, right? And I mean, absolutely, physically getting up, getting dressed, starting Susie, and going and getting. Right? But, yeah. So, that's kind of my lesson here on what depression is for me. Okay? I'm not saying that's you or someone you know. I'm just saying this is me. Right? This is how I don't handle life. So, I'm not crying. I'm not sobbing. I don't stay in bed all day saying, woe is me. I get up. I'm working on my stitching. At least I'm trying to do things. So, but anyway, but it will pass. It will pass. I have every belief. God knows. And I ask for help and guidance in my day. And especially with depression right now, I believe that God will, for whatever reason I'm going through this. I don't know what the reason is right now, but it's here and I accept it. I'm not fighting it. I accept it, that it's here. I acknowledge it, because that way there, like, I don't live in denial, right? I don't live in denial. I know I am using the crutch of food. I know that I am, I know what I'm dealing with. So I don't have my head buried in the sand. But yes. So thank you again so very much for joining me. If you like my channel, please give me a thumbs up. I know today's topic was a little on the heavier side, but it's still, some things just need to be said. And, depression, seasonal affective disorder, that kind of stuff is very, very real. Very real. Right? And if you know of someone who is dealing with depression or not dealing with their depression, and foremost, if they are suicidal, have suicidal thoughts, or feel like they want to do themselves harm, get some help for them. Please, there's suicide prevention lines all over the place, and if all else fails, get them to a hospital. Call an ambulance, because if you go by ambulance, they see you faster than if you do a walk-in. So, yeah. So, Yeah. So anyways, okay, everyone, I'm just going to continue working here. So please like, share, subscribe, comment. You know, it's wonderful that you come and visit with my channel. I believe I should be doing a review tomorrow. So please stay tuned for that. And yeah, we'll just see what happens and that. And again, I would like to express my deepest sympathies to those in California. They have dealt with another mass shooter. This morning I heard that there were 5 dead. I don't know if that number's going to rise. They caught the shooter. He is a 68-year-old man, I believe. An Asian man again. I don't know what's going on there, but an Asian man who went to mushroom farm. I think it was just one, but 2 different buildings, I think. And shot people. I don't know what the grievance was there, but that's not how you handle it. Not at all. So, all right, everyone. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be well. May God bless you this day and every day. God loves you. So do I. And so does Lilybell and Sydney, the little fart. And Jonah, who's up in the cat condo. So, thank you, Jesus, for being my Lord and Savior. Thank you for saving me from my sins. Thank you for being there in my darkest and deepest moments. Thank you for loving me like you do. Thank you for dying on the cross for me so that my sins may be forgiven. Thank you for this and more, Lord. So I pray that for myself and for all of you as well. All right, everyone, have a fantastic day. And I hope to see you tomorrow, hopefully with a better voice. So, all right, everyone. Toodaloodles, everybody.